Hello and welcome to episode 450 of the DCP Plus Side Quest podcast. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a while, guys. I mean, we've been a long break, the New Year's Christmas break. We got
It's been so long, I don't know what we're talking about because I don't know what we talked about.
Was the last show the Game Awards? Or did we do one after the Game Awards?
I thought you did one after because I thought I remembered. Yeah, because I was on. It was the High Guard one. Yeah, the post.
Oh yes.
That's
right.
Yes, right.
Oh right.
Yeah.
That one.
Yes.
I remember Fran being.
Everybody
the center
remembers
of attention.
now. Trust me, nobody's forgot.
Well, we can forget all of that because that was 2025, and we're welcome to 2026, where everything's gonna be okay, guys. It's gonna be just fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you promise? Do you promise?
I feel like Briar's already.
I get this. That's some subtle Briar humor right there, folks.
Yeah. Hey, but we're going to talk about our favorite games of 2025 this week, which is going to be fun. We'll talk about, was there new Destiny stuff? I'm sorry. I read the...
Not really. They've been focused a lot on Marathon, but Watts was talking about, I finally, despite my PC crashing a few times, did beat the campaign.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's good.
So
Is
Fran can talk about his Destiny experience.
You want a lore recap?
Yeah.
Dude, we got the whole gang. Once the time comes, we should give me a sit back, everybody.
Teasing that lore.
Oh, you know it.
Lord
How was
Daddy
everybody's
Fran.
holiday, though? It's been
Lord
a couple
Freddy.
weeks. Kind of want to catch up. How's everybody doing? Myelin, how you doing?
I'm so glad to be back at work.
At work?
Welcome back, Dad.
No, the holidays is a fantastic time. You know, Leo is almost 4 now, and Christmas was so much fun. Like, you know, he got to Santa, with naughty Santa, went in the kitchen, ate some of the gingerbread house, and stole some cookies, had some milk. The reindeers ate the carrots. It was pretty great. My God, you know, between 7 and 10 o'clock in the morning, I've done 10 activities. We've done painting. We've gone to the park. We've gone for a swim 3 times already. We've played with 4 new toys. I was like, what's the time? It's 10 o'clock. Oh my God.
I'm exhausted.
I'm ready to go to bed.
It is. Yeah. I mean, this is why parents go away, right? You do the little staycations and go somewhere like a caravan park where there's play equipment and pools and like just a bazillion things to keep kids interested, hopefully. But
At first I thought you were
gone.
You were gonna joke about how they go away to get milk at the store and they never come back.
I mean,
I'll be back.
This is why parents go away.
I almost had to tell my wife, "Oh my God, some gaming news just dropped. I got to spend the time doing some work."
Oh my
Dad's
God.
working. I got to go to my office. No, it was a fantastic time over Christmas and New Year's. But a toddler and a newborn is you know, you're pretty busy. You're pretty busy.
Yeah.
No doubt.
What happened with the fish and chip shop, Myelin?
Well, I don't even remember what. The fish chip shop. So like, I mean, obviously we have we have hot Christmases here, right? Like.
Yeah.
You know, people go to the
What's
beach
that mean?
and
Like
stuff
you're
like
in your
that.
underwear and you
When I was a kid, yeah, you're sitting on the underwear and you on the couch with one of those fans, the pedestal fans, does this, and you just like get a little spray bottle waiting for the.
Do you
Wait
guys
for the fans
have
for a
like
second.
Christmas music that has like songs about snow and like sledding and
Just hear the
stuff?
sleigh bells
Oh
jingling.
yeah, so we still get all this usual like snowy, wintry Christmas, you know,
But it just doesn't make any sense.
stuff.
That whole
Yeah,
motif,
it's still
right?
even though it's like, I mean, we're going through a heat wave at the moment. Like East Coast is like someone says it's gonna be 44 degrees Celsius today, which is
boy.
hold on, let me convert it to freedom
We're
in this
all just
week.
like deer in the headlights. Like,
Four
oh yeah, man, that sounds
Celsius.
awful.
It's 111
Woo!
Fahrenheit.
Oh my God.
That
hot.
is Christmassy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some
It's
parts
cooking.
of Australia, you get those videos of people take a fry pan and they just put it on the road and they just
Yep,
crack
that'll
an egg
roast
on
your
it and it starts
chestnuts.
cooking. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
What was
your
that
fish and chip story.
shop? Oh my God. So we have like some of the most lovely beaches here, and I went to the beach and it's like it annoyed me how inefficient the fish and chip shop was. I'm like, you're the only fish and chip shop, one of the most popular beaches. That you do two things: you do ice cream and fish and chips. You should you're obviously raking in the cash, and you're sitting there waiting for something. For it wasn't even busy, waiting for and they just forgot. Classic. And you know that friend? Do you have a friend that's never wants to be rude and interrupt and ask where the order is? And it always happens to them. They always forget their order. They're just sitting there waiting. I don't want to be rude. I just want to be polite. And bro, you ordered ice cream. They should have immediately got you the ice cream. I forgot. That was a fish and chip shop. That's the kind of things they get angry at when I'm not on the internet.
Yeah, you still found places to channel your energy.
I still found some places. Yeah. We've been riding our bikes. I ride Leah down to the beach. We go for a swim. It's been fun.
How far of a ride is that for you?
10 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
Is Leo old enough for a pedal bike yet?
Yeah, very soon because he's almost 4. His balance bike he's got down pat. We have to be very careful because we're at a top of a hill. I'm like, you have to listen to me and put the brakes on and slow down so you don't see this kid flying down the hill on the balance bike. But I've got a little seat in front of me that he can sit on, and we ride down the coast to the beach. Because everyone walks along the coast because it's quite a nice area, and he goes, hello, good morning. He tries to have conversations with people as they go past. He's like, what's your name?
Yeah.
As they as they go past.
But in the elf, what's your favorite color?
Been in waves yet, because we always take him to kiddie beaches that have got quite sheltered bays and stuff with no real waves. You just walk in. So we went to the proper beach yesterday. I was having him jumping over the waves as they crash in, and he was just absolutely loving it.
Nice.
That's great.
It was a really good time. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it's a good time.
TV, how was your
I'm glad to be back playing games.
Holiday was good, busy. I actually didn't have to travel though this year. My family's kind of spread out, but nobody wanted to travel this year. So it was basically my parents just did the rounds. They just picked weekends to be at different places, people's houses. So I didn't have to go anywhere, which is nice. But
nice.
It was real cold. We had plenty of choir concerts and Christmas pageants and all that business with the kids. But good nonetheless. We got a lot done around the house, which is great. I had a year. Well, this year I had a goal of a certain time period. I'd like to do a lot of reading. So my goal this year was to get through a 400-year stretch in ancient history that I wanted to learn more about. So that was my 2025. But by the end of 2025, I was so fatigued on boring, dry facts that I was I just need a senseless book to enjoy right now there's no point. I just want to laugh and have it be ridiculous. And my buddy was like, oh, I've got a recommendation for you. So I put it on my Christmas list. I got book 1 on Christmas Day. Today I started book 4. I have
oh my god.
Nice.
Since Christmas I crushed the first 3 in the series. I'm totally hooked on it. So that's been my Christmas. It's just been a lot of just lounging around and reading while the kids are playing with new toys and all that.
Nothing can interrupt my sleep more than a good book, because I do not want to.
I know, right?
I'll be reading until
that's
3
my problem
o'clock in the morning.
Yes, and now the kids just started school this week, and I got into this bad habit. I've been staying up until 1 and 2 in the morning, and that's not like me at all. I'm in bed by then, and I've been reading until real late. And I was like, oh, I'll just adjust my schedule when the kids get back into school. But I trained my body to be on that schedule, and now I've got to jump back into getting up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's tough. Have you ever heard of the Epic History podcast? I think it's called the Epic History Podcast. I gotta double check that that's the actual name of it, because
I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts. I think podcasts are dumb.
Oh yeah, I do too. I mean, only idiots would.
Nobody, come on, that was. Yeah, exactly. Only wannabe famous people are on podcasts.
Damn it! It's not the name of it. I'll think of it. But man, it is a podcast. 2 dudes, they research something for a week, and then they do a podcast about it, and they're historians by trade. Oh my god, it is the best bedtime.
Really great.
Yeah, it's the best bedtime history podcast I've ever found. And there's 500
the rest
episodes,
is history?
an hour each. The rest is history. Thank you
Well,
very much.
send me a title of it when you. What is it?
Yeah, when you find it, put it in the group chat.
Fran found it.
Yeah.
It's The Rest is History.
The Rest is History. I'm gonna write it down.
They got, 500 episodes, I think, something like that, and they're an hour each, and like almost all of them are fascinating. Watts, what have you been up to?
We had a pretty quiet Christmas day, but we went out for Christmas Eve with the family. We went to a hot pot place, which was really nice. They had like a hot pot where it had dividers, so people could kind of choose whichever one they want. So we got 3 different types of.
Is the hot pot place where the hot pot is in the middle and everybody just adds food to it to cook it?
Yeah.
Like while you're sitting there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the divider idea.
The divider is really nice because you get to experience, like, you don't have to go, oh, guys, which one broth are we going to pick?
And if you want spicy.
Exactly. If someone likes spicy, someone doesn't like spicy, or if someone's like vegan and people are eating meat, like you can just separate it. It's super easy. So that was really, really nice. That place was great. And then Christmas Day, we just cooked some food and ate a lot of food. And that was kind of it for Christmas Day.
Like that.
But we just had, yesterday was our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. We got we made at-home okonomiyaki, which is like a Japanese, how would you describe it, Fran? It's like, it's cabbage in a batter with eggs.
Yeah, it's an egg pancake with like fish.
Yeah, and you can add
sprinkles,
a bunch of stuff in it. You can add like corn, you can add meat, you can add mushrooms, like you can add whatever you want into the batter, and then you put it on a grill and you just let it sit for 5 minutes each side, and then you put the specific sauce on top of it, and then you put like the fish flakes on top of it. So we made that at home, and we bought a specific grill for that. So it's what they cook okonomiyaki on. It's also yakisoba. You can make really good pancakes on there and eggs, and because the whole thing with it is like it's a big metal plate, and it maintains even heat all the way throughout. So it's also really good if you wanted to do like KBBQ on there. That would be great too. So that was really fun. So we went shopping in the day. We went and got a bunch of ingredients for it, and then we came back and cooked that together. And that was
Do you guys
delicious.
do the like you know how there for every year anniversary there's like a material, like I don't know, like 8 is the wooden anniversry and 9 is the brass anniversary.
10 is tin.
Tin.
Yeah,
I look at it.
Yeah.
I look at it, and I normally would like get something, but because we bought like this griddle, it's called a teppanyaki. It's called teppan, but yeah, it's called a teppan for teppanyaki. So we bought that, and then we also bought like a new coffee maker, and then we bought like a new scale. So I was like, it's the color of tin. So, but it's I thought that was like a nice thing that we did. We just bought a bunch of stuff for the house. So that felt good for 10 years to get some really nice cooking and coffee stuff. Yeah.
Smart.
I tried to stick with that anniversary like material thing for a while, but it wasn't long before I found out there's 2 different lists. Like
there's a new one, and they have diamonds every other anniversary.
Who made that one? De Beers?
The OG one, you have to get to like 70 years before you get a diamond.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I gave you one right up front. You gotta wait 70 to get another one.
I'm gonna be dead.
I lucked out. My wife is very anti-diamonds.
That's good. That is lucky.
Yeah.
But I quickly found out that like I couldn't ever think of gifts for that thing, so I just like ditched it because it was like I felt like I was just wasting money on something that was made out of material that is on that list. So we just kind of got rid of it.
Yeah.
Fran, what have you been up to?
And we might end up not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for the holidays, it mostly was chilling, but I had a couple events. Somebody had a birthday right around then, and then we had a huge power outage in San Francisco. I can't remember if we talked about that. I don't think so. That was fun. In other words, there was some like substation fire thing. This was around December 21st or around there.
Oh,
But
jeez.
yeah, so it knocked power out in inner city San Francisco, which was a little
Right
wild in
on.
the sense of like I had to like Uber out. Actually, I was just trying to get to the train station. But then the train was down because it goes underground and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I'll just Uber. And then like all the lights are out. It's like pitch black almost right in the city. So like people trying to
That's
cross
wild.
streets and like all the lights are out. Like, how do you just get everybody through the city? So that was wild. It was out in my area for upwards of like 10 hours. So I lost like hundreds of dollars of groceries that I just got.
Oh no.
There is like a claim process and there's like some credit from the PG&E, but anyway, that sucked. That was a little before Christmas, but then had a very lovely Christmas Eve with some former coworkers and industry friends and like their family. You know, they had their kid there and all that. So I had a good kind of family vibe time there because I'm from the Midwest. So that was nice. And then outside that, I was mostly just chilling. Yeah, I don't think anything too exciting. Just, you know, trying to reset for the new year.
Yeah.
That sounds nice. Sounds relaxing.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah,
for the,
no,
you know,
I had a
the-
really good
the
time.
panic of no power in the city thing.
Yeah.
Other than that part. Well, what about you, Briar?
I kind of overbooked myself a little bit. I got a new primary care physician who immediately looked at me and like, oh, we got to cut this thing off, and you haven't had
We got
this
a lot of work
done.
to do.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here, bud. Like, so he's part of like this like health network, right? So he just like set up all my appointments, right? Like through this health network.
I like
and
the proactive nature of this person.
I love this guy. I mean, I love this guy. It was just that it was a lot, you know. It's like it was like going to the dentist for the first time and like, oh, we got work to do, you know. Like, oh, you're gonna be here for a while and often. So, like, and I kind of didn't like realize how much recovery was going to be involved
Preventative care and
in getting surgery done. And we had a guest coming for a week during the holidays. So it's just like, it was a lot going on. And I was kind of like, I was on the hurt list, you know, I was the walking wounded all month. And then because I was sitting around so much, I hurt my back because that's what happens when I sit around, right?
That is what happens. That's how I got my back to be bad, is because I was recovering from getting my teeth extracted, and it actually made me kind of sick. And I was just laying down. Yep, new problem.
Yep.
Yep.
But you know, we're healing up now. We're on the mend, feeling good. Had a great Christmas. We do that Christmas
You look
ham.
good.
Thank you. You look good too.
Yeah.
ham.
We do the Christmas ham where I go and I buy like a ham and all the fixings so that nobody has to do anything on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And we started that tradition probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it's really made the whole holiday like super chill because it's kind of like the ham is out. Grab the ham when you want some, you know, microwave yourself a plate, and you can just kind of like chill out. We'll do presents in the like mid-morning, and we have family over on Christmas Eve, so it's just a relaxed atmosphere, and we've really kind of gotten through that. We don't do anything for New Year's. Do you guys go out for New Year's anymore?
No,
me neither.
No,
but
we
yeah,
do.
I
We
didn't
have a
this year.
great New Year's Eve.
Yeah?
I've talked about it before, but it's now become a tradition with my community as well, where we watch this TV show called Kohaku, which is a Japanese New Year's Eve show. They have all like super famous, popular artists come and perform their big songs for that year. And it's like the kind of vibe of like it's like an old nostalgic vibe of just a really fun variety show, which is perfect for New Year's Eve because it's just good vibes and great music. And you get to just sit there and you eat some food and you watch that. And now my community all watches it as well. So we'll talk
Sounds
about
awesome.
it. Be like, oh my God. Yeah, it's a really good time. It's honestly my favorite way to spend New Year's because it's just such a wholesome, happy thing. And you get to just be home and jam out. It's nice. Good time.
Yeah. So into 2026 we go. Should we talk about our favorite games of 2026?
Like, and most anticipated
I don't have that in
games
front of me, but
2026?
I'm sorry, our favorite
or-
games of 2025. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
There you go. There you go.
Classic.
Everyone's like,
Huh?
I was going to do my research for next week.
Yeah.
Not this week.
I haven't done my homework. Don't ask me. Don't make eye contact.
I don't know. Why don't you put this in the chat? Why don't you give us a format? How do you want to do this out? Do you want to just kind of like go around the horn and kind of pick games out? Or
Yeah,
do
we
you
could
want
just
to,
go around and people could bring up like just not. It doesn't even have to be necessarily be a game that released in 2025. Just like your favorite
Games you
gaming
played.
experiences of 2025. I think would be cool.
Why don't you get us going?
Claire Obscura, of course, is very up there, I think, for everybody. I think we've talked about it so much. It's so good. So I'll name something different, and I will go with Silent Hill F. Because if Claire Obscura was not out this year, Silent Hill F would be my game of the year. It's so incredibly good. The writing is incredible. The way that the story unfolds through multiple playthroughs and the things that you find out, I was just like, oh my god, the whole way through. It's a really special game that has incredible storytelling. So I would highly recommend that game to anybody.
This is the game, I think, of 2025 that I didn't play that I want to play the most. It's like the one that's top of the list. After your reaction to it, after watching some like just brief gameplay videos, like kind of just checking out the tone and like, am I into this? I just love everything about what I saw, and I really want to check this one out.
Check it out. It's good. It's fun.
Fran? Oh, sorry. Myelin?
Okay.
No, not Myelin, Fran.
Yeah, be quiet, Fran. You're talking too much.
Please go, Myelin.
This is not going to be a surprise, but Arc Raiders for me was like the game that got me back into extraction shooters. Like I played Tarkov for years. I made a separate channel in 2019 about Escape from Tarkov because I loved it so much. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to tell you because you look it up.
I will.
I'm not going to tell.
I'll tell you.
Found it. No, I was...
and it was a first, like Extraction, like Tarkov was like kind of the first game to really get my heart racing, like playing games again and like just being in love with the pain of that game. Like, you know, some people play the Souls games because they're like, oh, like, I love the satisfaction of beating that boss after, you know, facing it for so many hours. And Tarkov kind of did that for me. And then I just kind of fell out of love with it. I was like, and then nothing ever hit that spot again until Arc Raiders came along. And I just think they've done a crazy job with somehow making like a casual extraction game that is doing insane like player retention numbers, like outperforming so many other games for you know a non
big is their
AAA
team?
studio.
Do you know?
I don't know. I can Google it now, but I was having a look at like player retention, and they've outperformed Battlefield 6. They've outperformed like Marvel Rivals in the first 2 months. Like their player retention has been insane. They're up to their biggest test now post Christmas. People are getting through the content. Like this is kind of when you probably see players start to drop off. But I think what they did in general for extraction shooters, and also I'm much more interested in Marathon and how Marathon has like changed because of Arc Raiders' release and their impact on like gaming in general and the extraction genre. So that's the easy one for me. And Battlefield 6 also was kind of like maybe 2025 was like return to things that I really love. Like Battlefield, I played just Battlefield games before Destiny. That's all I did. I just played Battlefield, and just not like competitively, of course, just like goofing around and just like having fun in helicopters and jets and sitting in a sniper tower for 20 minutes with one kill. Like it was just like stuff just felt fun, and Battlefield 6 definitely felt like a fun time again. So I enjoyed that a lot as well.
Fran?
Yep. You can probably tell I'm like looking at stuff here. I'm like, I'm in a unique situation where
list.
What did you play, Fran? Let me guess. It's FBC Firebreak.
No, it's definitely not FBC Firebreak. Yeah, like I think maybe for a variety of reasons, a little weirder year for me, but then I still like a lot of the games I know I will love, I haven't played yet. And so the ones that come to mind, I have played quite a bit of, and I enjoyed them for sure. I really enjoyed Chronos New Dawn. It was just nice to get something in that survival genre. You know, I always talk about Dead Space 2023 a lot, as folks know. But that was a good one. And, you know, I just always love first person action, and getting a campaign out of Doom again was really nice. Those two definitely kind of like going back through things stand out. But then I have like all this unfinished stuff as well. Like I had, you know, I had this had this arm problem going on. It's definitely getting better. But I had to I started Ninja Gaiden 4, for example, and then I just had to stop, and I went over back to Blueprints, or I was already doing Blueprints at the time, trying to find a one-handed game. Sunk a bunch of time into Blueprints because of that. And it's a very interesting game, and it's fun if you like that, Blueprints. But anyway, Ninja Gaiden really stood out to me as one that I probably will love as well. So yeah, I mean, as usual, I don't think it's going to surprise everyone. It's like, yeah, it'll be like 4 months from now, and I'll tell you, oh, these are my favorite games. But shout out to Donkey Kong Bonanza for at least surprising me, and just bringing back Donkey Kong. I think that I still struggle trying to understand why people find it so masterful. It never really grabbed me in that way, and I absolutely sunk a ton of time. Yeah, really cool game, and Nintendo excels so much at physics, and I love them for the things they're doing there. But then again, it just didn't have this depth of wow. But it is really good. It's solid.
The sandbox is so good, but I just didn't feel compelled to keep exploring for some reason. Like the level design didn't keep me engaged. I've heard it gets a lot better at the end, and I did not finish it. I played probably a third of it.
It does get better, but you might be looking for what I was looking for, which is you kind of want to look around the world and be like, how do I get there? And it has some of that, but then it wasn't as much as you'd think. It was a lot of pounding sand, and getting to new areas and stuff. But it is a really cool game, and it really makes me want to see the next Mario, which I'm I don't know, if we're months away from seeing it or not on Nintendo's schedule. But anyway, those stand out right now. But
well, don't use them all up.
My
I'm
guess.
Sure we'll do another round.
What of things that I liked?
Yeah. I mean, you can go through everything if you want. Yeah. I can circle back around and throw mine in.
No, I'm done. I was just gonna say, if I had to guess, once I'm finished, I mean, Expedition 33 is gonna be way up there. I was already excited about that, and then Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Those will probably be my top 3 once I get into them.
Can I circle back? There's a couple ones I forgot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go crazy.
Mega Bonk, single dev, that had me addicted for a while. That was that. I felt the pull to come back to my PC and just try to get big number in Mega Bonk. That was very fun. Mecha Break was this year too. Watson and I had heaps of fun with the robots. It didn't. I don't know what happened. It kind of fell off, but man, I was excited for it. And I was just having a look at the hours. I almost played 100 hours of Mecha Break. There was an extraction mode in that too, and the PvP. That was fun. We should do a little bit more. There you go.
Did you? So genuinely for 2025 for you, Myelin, did Path of Exile stay up there on your list at all in 2025, or were you pretty well bounced off by then?
Yeah, I haven't gone back to Path of Exile 2. I was there for the content creation, but honestly, I just felt like I'm moving away from grinding loot games in general. I still like it. I still like the developers. I still like what they do with it. There's lots of features I like with it, but I didn't want to spend most of my streams grinding for a randomly rolled gauntlet.
Yeah.
But it's,
That's fair.
for people who like that genre, it's a freaking good game.
What about Night Rain? Was that up there for you too this year? Or was that kind of just a more casual dip in, dip out thing?
My enjoyment in Night Rain is because Watts loves playing Night Rain. I like hanging out with Watts.
I do love Night Rain.
I do like playing Night Rain, but it is also a great one to play with friends.
Yeah.
Night Rain.
I was looking at my list.
Easy, casual one to play with friends.
Yeah.
But I made that reaction after I stopped talking, and it was because I was like, Night Rain, which I really enjoyed.
I love Night Rain very much. I have, I think, 140 hours in the game. They dropped a big update, and it's got some of the coolest bosses in there. They introduced a whole new map. Like Night Rain is
Yeah, I
very,
can't wait to
very,
check it
very
out.
fun.
Do we know if it's getting another planned update of any kind?
Nothing planned. No, I think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are adding Shadow of the Erdtree weapons and stuff in there at some point. But yeah, nothing is planned. They might just be done. They might just be like, okay, that was cool.
They got to
We
clear the
realized
board
that
for Duskbloods. Their next
Dustbloods is
multiplayer.
coming out. Yeah. And the thing that is really exciting about Night Rain is that this was made by like it's not Miyazaki who's overheading this. This is a different person who has been able to lead a team and lead a game, and they've made really incredible stuff. So I'm sure that that's been really good for them to have experience making stuff by themselves and someone, being the lead on something which they've never done before and seeing how well received it all was.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Was Wu Chang this year?
What?
Yes.
Wu Chang, I gotta call out Wu Chang. I just found that game to be fun, so beautiful. I really loved the combat. There were some quirks. Like I felt like the sword was just so powerful. I was always compelled to use the sword, and like compared to other Souls-like games where there's a little bit more variety in weaponry and loadouts, like it could have used a little help there. But man, I got super addicted to that game. I loved the exploration of the levels. I like cared about the story much more than I care about the story in most Souls games. I really enjoyed that game. I thought I can't wait to see like kind of what that team does as their like follow up to that. I hope they do another like Souls game because they were so good at this one that I can't wait to see another one by that team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, TV.
Yeah, and the other
did a good job.
Oh, that's right. Good. Cut TV off.
My 2 most played games of 2025 were Abiotic Factor, which if you're not familiar with Abiotic, seriously a dark horse. I had 0 expectations. That game is so good. If you ever like enjoyed the Half-Life games and you like that kind of vibe, they are unapologetically Half-Life inspired. The world is that same kind of old school vibe. Lots of sci-fi like portals and that, but also mixed with that corporate backrooms kind of a vibe as well. Such a fun survival game. Actually, Glad was the one that put it on my radar initially. So I flagged it, and then a buddy of mine was like, "We need a new game to play," and I was like, "Oh, do you want to try this one out?" And now we're hooked. We have played that game for several months straight now. There's 4 of us, me and my wife and our 2 best friends. Probably a good 3 to 4 nights a week we're in Abiotic together, and it's just so much fun. So if you like that survival genre, that game should definitely. It's free on Game Pass, by the way. If you've got Game Pass on Xbox, you can.
It's really interesting because it's like a survival game, but it's not like the typical. You're in a forest or like an open area. You're in labs and like there's monsters and
exactly.
And, there's some overarching story going on that you're uncovering.
Yeah. Super fun game, and actually has a lot of build diversity. So if you like to play shooters, you can be a shooter. If you like brawling, you can be a brawler. But if you like to be more in survival games, like, no, I kind of like to be the homekeeper. Like some people like that in survival games, where they're like, no, I kind of just want to maintain the base. Like you've got all that, like the whole farming system's pretty in depth, and the cooking system's pretty in depth, and you can provide a wide range of buffs for your teammates as they're going out and collecting resources and fighting bosses and all that stuff. So it's been a really fun game to dive into collectively as a group. The other game is actually this week marks 1 year since I played the game for the very first time. Marvel Rivals. I just hit this today while I was doing some grinding. I hit 2,000 hours of playtime in Marvel Rivals.
Nice.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Platinum diamond status.
When it comes to my variety coverage on my content, usually I bounce off stuff, right? Like I'll strike while the iron's hot on a game that I like, that's fun to cover for a month. And then I bounce off of it and I go do the next thing that's relevant and current. that I like. But Rivals has been so much fun for. I don't know what it is about Rivals that hooked me in a way that Overwatch never could. But it got its hooks in me deep. I still just love playing the game. And on top of that, like the creator side of it is that also, luckily, they're coming out with new heroes all the time with very unique and in-depth kits that you have to sort of learn the secrets behind and the secret tech and what's going on under the hood. And I enjoy that process too. And constantly coming out with new maps, balance updates that rework hero kits that are underperforming in dramatic ways. It's not just like, oh, we changed it by 5%. They're like, no, we gave them a completely new ability. Stuff like that. I just think that they've done a really good job of keeping the game fresh. And on top of that, they also have free-to-play game modes that are constantly coming out. Some of them have hit really well, like their zombies
The
mode.
PvE one, yeah.
Yeah, their zombies mode took off. I just whipped up a guide once for one of the heroes because there's like a special title you can get on your nameplate if you were to clear the highest level difficulty of their zombies mode solo with no matchmaking. And so I just made a guide on how to do that on the 5 characters you could play the zombies mode on. And one of them's got like 160,000 views. That's how many people are not just playing it, but like actively looking for content on a side free-to-play random game mode.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They saw those numbers, they saw their player retention during that event, and they were like, okay, we need to double down on this. So they said, we're going to make more zombie stuff because y'all loved it and we loved making it. So anyways, also say those are my top 2 games for 2025, what I've really enjoyed playing.
Fran and Watts, you both
yeah,
mentioned Claire Obscure.
Fran hasn't played it.
But not play. I said it will be.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, he will really like it. Yeah.
I will love it.
That game, man, I was so torn on that game. I really liked what they did with the combat, like turning a turn-based RPG, like just adding like the parry mechanics and all, like the defense options. Like it just made it so much more active. Like so many turn-based RPGs just feel so grindy and so like it gets to a point where if the story's interesting enough, sometimes I'll put the game on its easiest mode and just be like tapping X to get through the combat because I'm so bored with it. You know, I just want to like, okay, I just want to get through this combat because either my characters are so powerful that like I'm just gonna blow through this anyway or whatever. But Claire Obscura, the combat really was engaging. Sadly, I just got bored with the kind of the side story stuff, and I always felt like I had to go through it because like it didn't gate progression, but it gated up, or it gave you upgrades and it gave you like character stuff, and I didn't find it interesting at all. I found the main story interesting, but I didn't find the side stories interesting at all. But I love like the look of the game. I love it felt so original. It looked so original. I got a lot of respect for that game. It was quite impressive.
Nice.
Do you think it's too negative to talk about our greatest disappointments of 2025?
No, but let's get through our favorite
The new
games
game
first, and then
plus
we'll move on.
I don't know if I have those.
Yeah, FBC Firebreak. That's mine.
Well, yeah, that was the number one.
Woo! I'll give you my top. I'll give you 5 games that make it to like the top. I don't know where I would put them, but my favorites. Claire Obscure is up there. Silent Hill F, I already said. Night Rain. But then I would put Monster Hunter Wilds and First Berserker Kazan in there. That would be my personal, like, these are the top 5 games that really kind of stood out for me in terms of personal enjoyment.
Yeah, First Berserker was pretty crazy. The gameplay in that game was spot on, I would say. I mean, like, has anybody done it better?
That was probably my favorite greatsword in any game.
That's fair.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever say if you
really good?
I believe you like Liza P more. You know, I know they're not exactly the same, but if you had to choose, are they like on the same level or?
I like First Berserker Kazan's combat more. But in terms of everything else, Liza P is ahead.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I already shouted out so much, but I didn't actually want to glance over Wilds. Like I'm always so combat and gameplay mechanically driven. Those are usually the games that like grab my attention. Not that I don't love style and story and sound and all that, but usually mechanics and gameplay. And like, yeah, big fun. I came out of World as well, playing a lot of that. So that was big fun this year for sure. Even if, yeah, at the time, and I know it's changed, the balance, it was like not as hard as we were all expecting at the time, but still really solid. And then of course, like Arc Raiders, just such a experiential game, but such a technically solid, and I can hop in anytime and it's a great vibe. It's enjoyable. Even if for me personally, like I will always have gripes about, it's such a grind, and that's what those games are. But it's always you can just hop in, and it's the social experience above all is always amazing, man. I mean, you could just be doing something really simple and you get into a hilarious conversation, or you can also create the explosive moments yourself. Like, yeah, I raided Myelin last night and he's like being a total jerk. He's camped out up on like a pipe, like tormenting some dude named Sinbad, I guess. But yeah, you can just always have a good time. It's such a watchable game too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever kill that guy, Myelin? Sinbad.
It's hard to remember. The bodies were piling up.
Yeah,
well, when we talk about other general news, there's interesting conversation around aggression-based matchmaking in Arc Raiders, which is like crazy. And I never thought it would be a type of matchmaking, but it's very interesting socially what it does to the game.
What's your take on that? Yeah, because I'm with you. Like, I never even thought like there's so many different metrics you can use to gauge matchmaking. Skill and connection are kind of the ones that we tend to think those are just the two, right? Those are the dichotomies, or team-based matchmaking, and those are kind of I think the big three. Really, I never really thought about aggression level being the thing that dictates who you get match made with. That's a really interesting idea, but I haven't played it, so I'd love to get your take on that. So I'm glad you brought it up.
What happens is, the only thing we know for certain is the CEO confirmed there is aggression-based matchmaking. We don't know what data they use, but we know that like your end screen gives you a bunch of data, right? It tells you like how much damage you do to players, if you extracted with someone, if you healed someone else, if you searched a dead body. So like we know they're collecting data on these things, but we don't know what contributes to the aggression-based matchmaking. I basically played like 7 hours and tried to work out a couple things. And essentially, if you start shooting other players and do damage to other players, that's a definite stat that starts progressing you to more PvP-centric lobbies. And when you start really taking note of it, the lobbies are really, really obvious. So you have like friendly lobbies where people are just like oblivious to you. They don't even care that you're behind them. They're just running around. Like they're not sneaking. They're making heaps of noise. And everyone's kind of trusting each other, and they got lots of microphones working, and everyone's talking to each other and usually working together. Then you get like what I found to be like the paranoid lobbies and they're like, you can instantly tell when you go into like a match because like there's no gunfire, no one's shooting each other. People are just kind of ratting around, getting loot and then getting out. And if you do discover someone, they're like hiding in a corner. You're like, are you okay? They're like, leave me alone. And then you get to like the shoot on sight lobbies where you've basically attacked someone. You end up in essentially a PvP lobby where people don't talk to you and they'll shoot you immediately. And it's very, very distinct gameplay, and it's a very distinct feeling. And you can kind of tell when you're in a friendly lobby and when you're not in a friendly lobby. And I thought this was probably active for quite a while, and I was like, there's no way they're doing this. It seems like way too hard matchmaking because, with matchmaking, as soon as you put too many descriptors on there, you start dropping player population and you start, increasing match times. And I'm getting match times in like 30 seconds. So I'm like, there's no way they're doing this. And then the CEO comes out and says, yeah, actually, we did put it in. And it's exactly what you think it is. If you shoot other players, you're going to start finding other people who like shooting players. I think it was the perfect solution that they should have kept secret. I think it ruins a little bit of the magic for me because I can influence what matches I'm in, and I am actually really right in the middle when it comes to extraction shooters. I love social interaction, but I also do enjoy a villain. I do enjoy the PvP. There's a big portion of the player population that just want a PvE and they hate getting killed by other players. They hate getting ratted. I mean, everyone does, but it's like, I hate dying to a boss in Souls games, but that's part of the fun, like overcoming that. So it's like, if you remove that, I don't have like tension anymore. Like the whole point of Souls games is hard bosses. So if you make every boss easy, it's not fun for me. But it's like, this game has so many different players, and there is a big portion that just don't want a PvP at all, and they're just enjoying fighting robots and leveling up stuff. I like the tension that PvP brings, and I like the tension when I didn't know if I could trust everyone. I can be pretty certain when I'm in like friendly lobbies and I play maps completely different. I don't hide from cover. I'll run across open spaces. I don't need to smoke an extract. I don't need to even check the extract and make sure no one's there. I just don't care. Like I'll run into the middle of the map and just start screaming and like probably won't get shot. So,
but how do you know that?
Because people don't shoot me.
Well, right. But what I'm kind of putting on deck here is you're saying, oh, I kind of wish you hadn't ruined it because I could influence it. But you can sort of tell the behavior from the match. So in other words, like, yes, you can start shooting people to put yourself maybe into a PvP. So you can influence getting into one, but that doesn't mean you're always in one, right? I mean, so in other words, doesn't completely... Right, but doesn't completely ruin it in that sense of, you know, you already knew when you were in a friendly
There is
match,
still tension, right? Because, and this is literally, like, this is one of my friends is, like, he does it for you know, some people that like to troll, he's right in that category. So, like, we would test this on stream. He would test this on stream, and I got into a friendly lobby. And he was on the same thing, and it actually matched us together. And he's been trying to stream snipe me since like day dot and can never get into my lobbies. And we've kind of worked it out. It's probably because he's always aggressive to other players. So he resets his matchmaking by being friendly. You got to be friendly for like 3 to 4 matches. And it means like if someone shoots you, you don't shoot them back. You literally run away or you die. You try to talk to players. You try to revive players. You try to heal them. And then you basically get into friendly lobbies. He did that. He stream snipes me. I'm chatting to someone else. He comes on, goes, hello, blows it, like just shoots him in the face, right? Kills him. Then he's going to be sent back to the PvP lobbies, but he can still come back. He can still be friendly for a little bit and try to get back in. So the tension is still going to be there because some people will always fight. Some people might accidentally end up in a friendly lobby because they were just chilling out and questing. And that's sometimes how you play these games. Like, I just want to level up. Yeah. I'm a bit poor. I need a bit of money. I'm just going to avoid combat because it is kind of the meta to not fight people. Like, you're going to lose money fighting people in these kind of games. So, you know, and then all of a sudden they're in a friendly lobby like, well, I'm going back to being devious. I'm just going to start shooting everyone again. So there is some tension there, but it is a lot less random than I initially thought. And that does kind of ruin a little bit of the magic for me. But overall, from the comments I've seen on my channel, is people like it, and people, specifically the PvE player base, like it the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for what it's worth, I'm always playing devil's advocate for questions, but like I agree with you that like him confirming exactly what it is, like I agree, a bit of the magic, taken away. However, the other question then is like, well, if people are, say that one more time, Briar.
Say, especially if it can be manipulated.
Right. Yeah, that can be, if it can. But in this case, it's like, well, if you just want to fight people, I think people already kind of knew, like, just fight. But what I was going to say is the other side, Myelin, though, is like, if people like you are doing hundreds of matches and charting it, and like, it's kind of, everyone's like, they already had been saying this is it, right? And so the transparency side is, how do they address it and be transparent with you? Because people love transparency from developers. I do think they could have, which would have been like, I think you guys are, you're researching a lot of stuff. We do have certain matchmaking elements, but we don't want to ruin it for you. Do you think they could have gotten away with just saying that?
So it's interesting because the player base that probably were the loudest online are PvE players that don't want PvP. And this has really made them feel heard, that there is a matchmaking system to give them a good experience, right? And if that's the largest population, then that is the best call to make. And I think it's actually the best solution they could have done because if they made separate PvE lobbies that you have to like tick a box before you go in, I actually think it would have ruined the game. I actually think this is such a great solution to help keep the PvE plays around. And announcing it, I think, is also the best solution for those PvE plays. But I do think someone like me that is much more like, I like the middle ground. I like PvE, I like PvP, I like the social aspects, I like the tension. Like, you know, personally, I would have preferred it not been told.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think hopefully they still mix it up a bit, that it's not as predictable. On paper, though, I actually like hearing more about it. I'm like, you know, I kind of like that as a solution. It's like behavioral based matchmaking. You get a heat map, so to speak, on your playtime as of recency, I think. So like if you're having a chill night, maybe in theory, like, you can have a chill night. And like I haven't heard of too many games or any off the top of my head that do it that way. It's kind of interesting. Again, you don't want something that you can cheat or influence too much, but it's almost like they're machine learning stuff for the arc, where like they're trying to like pick up on the patterns and like do something with that with the gameplay. And so
and like,
I do like it on paper.
A lot of people like rebutted my criticism of it, like me just saying it should have been kept secret. Because I said, well, it's kind of self-correcting. Like if you get into friendly lobbies and you start shooting people, you get thrown back into the PvP, then you've got to be a good boy again before you come back. So like, it is self-correcting in that way.
But you can still ruin.
I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to extraction shooters. Like for me, the social fun is the tension of PvP is optional, and not knowing who's going to be a douche and who's not.
Yeah. Maybe what they could do, and maybe they do it, but like instead of, you know, does everybody get match made in that same way? So in other words, imagine you're in a friendly lobby because you've been chill and now you're suspecting, yeah, I'm definitely in a friendly lobby. But maybe what they can do if they haven't is like still have a little bit of like, you know, the needle in the haystack element of like, well, we're still going to mix in some aggressive players, maybe just one. And you might get unlucky, you know, and things that surprise you where you're like, what? I thought I was in like a nice lobby and this dude like blasted me. So, you know, there's probably things they can do.
It would be an interesting social experiment to just turn it off again and see what plays.
Yeah, totally.
I actually think it has impacted how people play the game knowing it exists. Even though we don't know
I would agree
the exact parameters of it. Like right now, right? Like if I am I was trying to level up my workbenches, I would just let people kill me rather than fight back, because overall, and this is like the grind mindset, overall it was more effective for me to remain in a friendly lobby to get the equipment I needed than to defend myself,
steal it,
and then end up in a PvP lobby for 2-3 rounds. So like it's impacted my player behavior just knowing it existed. Whereas before, I would always defend myself. I wouldn't be the aggressor, but I would shoot back. I would kill them, hopefully, and that'd make a funny clip, and then I'd finish them off. But the game would register that as you.
No, you're right. You're way more tuned in than the mass population, but you're absolutely right. Like I would be the same way, where I'd be like, oh, I understand what's going on now, so I'm just gonna try to game that since it's confirmed. So. I think it's good overall. I was going to say the one thing, which I don't know what the solution for it is. The only thing I really dislike in the game is because of this structure. Yeah, and I play a lot of solo. So a lot of times, like, matches are pretty chill overall, and that's probably because of my play style as well. I'm a looter, less of a shooter. I don't mind the shooting. It's just like productivity-wise, it's such a grind that I'm not looking, like you're saying, to fight all the time.
Yeah.
But I hate rats at extract. In fact, for me, the only rats are the ones at extract, and it's like you get in the zone of where you're like everything's been fine, and then suddenly it's just this dirtbag, and it always like it's the game. So I'm always like, whatever. If it happens too many times in a row, though, then I'm like, they got to work on this. Right. And I did have that a few nights ago where there's like 2 or 3 matches in a row where I was getting ratted at extract, and I'm like, ugh.
You know what?
I'm not being careful because it tells you that overall it's not a problem. Yeah.
So like one of the things that, like when I hear people talk about this, I was gonna make a YouTube short. I was like, you like extraction shooters, you just don't know it yet. Because I feel like there's stages of extraction shooters, and the first stage is like, I hate rats. And it's like, you can't have the highs without the lows. And the lows are the rats and the extracts. The lows are you're stacked with loot, you're going to extract, you think you're gonna get out, and then you get killed. And that is an ultimate low. But next time when you get out and maybe there is a rat there and you beat them, the high is such a dopamine dump.
Oh yeah.
You are absolutely hooked. And it's like, that was one of my next videos. Is like, all the people complaining about that, you just don't know that you love extraction shooters yet. Trust me. Once you get the high, you're in. Like you're like, okay, I get it. Like this is the excitement of the game. But if it happens too many times, of course, I do agree with you. Like, I mean, that's like any game. Anything that's frustrating for too often, you're gonna give up on.
Yeah. To be up for it's not like terrible for me. It's fine overall. It's just I hate the behavior of rats and that they so easily get away with it is all. In other words, you kind of train yourself that like, it's not like that. And then of course, every once in a while, you're faced with this decision of like, am I really going to treat every extract like it's the hardest Tarkov extract ever? And I'm like, no, dude,
kind of what you need. Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I felt incredibly bad because when I was trying to influence my matchmaking, right, I got into a friendly lobby. I was talking to people. And at the extract, I threw trigger nades. And by the way, trigger nades are like the most broken thing in the game right now. They're like, they're a 2-shot grenade and they've got a huge blast radius. And people started screaming at me and I legitimately felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry.
You do.
I'm sorry. I'm making a video. Please. I need to impact my PvP.
That's even worse.
And they're like, no fucking way. Come back here, you rat. We're going to kill you.
That's amazing.
Running away.
I'm not sure saying you're a content creator doing it for the memes makes it much better, but
no,
the morality of it.
Yeah, it's probably even worse morality-wise. Yeah.
So funny. But yeah, you're right. Actually, it just occurred to me that one of those times I got ratted, somebody else saw it going down and I had thrown like instead of reloading my gun, which maybe was stupid, I threw a lure nade because there was like wasps and stuff overhead at them. So it kind of put them on their heels. So then I was like kind of healing up and trying to reload, but I still got taken down. But it gave me enough time that somebody who else was extracting saw it. I'm like, it's a rat. This dude's a rat. Get rid of him. You know, they totally smoked them. And I crawled in and they let me out. I was like, okay, it was that high that you talked about.
You're proving my point, Fran. This is why I feel like if a game is getting you to recount a story from the game, it's doing the job right. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you need villains, because it makes that movie scene. Without the villain, it's just it's you being bad at the game and dying to a robot. And that's not a good story.
No, yeah, you're right.
All right, those little arc raiders.
There's always arc raider stories, yeah.
Real quick, I got a couple more games I want to shout out as favorites. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, best game of the year of 2025. Like I can't believe how much I like this game. I am predestined to love this game. So like it's probably not, it wouldn't make as high a list on anybody else's list, but my God, I love this game. The combat was phenomenal. The graphics were phenomenal. Everything. I just loved everything about it. I started playing through all the Dark Souls games this year. I've been slowly trucking my way through. I'm halfway through. I played all the way through Dark Souls 1. I'm halfway through Dark Souls 3. And I'm kind of a little burnt out on Dark Souls right now. Dark Souls 1 was phenomenal, but man, it needs like a Demon Souls update at this point. Because like going to playing Dark Souls and then playing Dark Souls 3, you're like, oh my God. Like this just it's so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I also started replaying Shadows Die Twice. Help me out here. Sekiro. A game that I thought was okay when it came out. Honestly, like I really do like the RPG aspects of the Souls games, and not having that in in Sekiro, I do miss it. But I think I'm a little like my mindset is a little bit more like I'm able to see like kind of the fun of the combat in Sekiro a little bit more than I was when that came out 5 years ago. Was that 5 years ago it came out? About that, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Right about. Could even be 6,
but honestly, even now, I'm kind of like, you know, I do miss like all the RPG stuff, and I wish they would have just updated Bloodborne to this level of smooth controls.
I mean,
because goddamn Bloodborne hurts to play. But it's been fun going back to those older games. They're still good. Dark Souls. I think Dark Souls and Bloodborne are both in real need of like a Demon Souls style update.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's what I hear everybody say. I've been waiting to play the Dark Souls. See, everybody's always just like, just start with 3, I think they say.
I think 3 holds up pretty good. It doesn't look like a modern game, but it plays like a modern game.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get the,
but
Oblivion.
Did you hear
treatment.
I was going to say, did you connected to that? Did you hear I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's just like rumors about New Vegas remastered?
I did hear this.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Is this going to be like, oh, we updated it to like 4K textures, or is this going to be like a full-on remake?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But the game was fantastic.
Yeah,
And are any of you guys watching the current season of Fallout?
Wait until it's done, but I will be watching it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
as soon as
it's been really fun as somebody who loved. Yeah, it's been fun as somebody who loved New Vegas, just to see those spaces again and kind of feel like you're back in that world.
Is this new? This is all fan speculation, though, right? There's no source.
Well, I don't know. I just saw the rumors on Twitter today.
Well, I looked it up. What I'm seeing is fans think Amazon is teasing a remaster of old Fallout games. Now that's just the headline, so I don't know.
Is that just because the new
there's a
season
special
happens in
website? Maybe. But they put up a website. Amazon did, and it's styled like the old Pip-Boy Fallout, maps.
Yeah.
And I guess as you dig in, I don't know. I think people are just speculating, but the major reason, according to Polygon, that the rumor is believable is that Todd Howard, the CEO of Bethesda, has confirmed the studio is working on something Fallout related.
Yeah. Well, and
be a new
he
Fallout
said
game
that
coming.
Fallout is currently their most lucrative endeavor. So
yeah,
they'd be crazy not to strike while the iron's hot. And
Yeah.
it's Bethesda, so it's not like they didn't know the iron was going to be hot. So they've probably been prepping for a while.
So there's a new Skyrim game coming. We know that because they announced it 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls. But so that's the next big, Todd Howard game. Could they have?
We don't know that for sure, though.
We don't know about sure.
It could be Fallout 5.
It could be, but don't you think we would have known that before? I don't know. They didn't announce Fallout 4 until it was almost out, right?
Yeah, the thing is with Bethesda is they don't tend to play by the same rules as everyone else when it comes to announcing schedules and when games are coming out. When you think about how long Starfield was in development, you just don't know.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We're always just sort of playing the game of what is Bethesda up to.
Yep.
And 76 has been, from all accounts, getting better and better and better as time goes on.
Yeah, pretty successful game.
Amazingly, based on the way it launched.
Yeah. That's every Bethesda game, isn't it? It's like, oh, this game launched terrible. It turns out great.
On that note, I won't go into the detail, but there's more speculation now about that StarCraft, either third person, first person shooter,
right,
being out there. That's been getting a little more buzz. I've lost track of what that source was, but that has been popping up too. So could be an interesting year when it comes to old franchises getting their updates.
Myelin, what was your most disappointing game in 2025?
I'm glad you asked.
Negative Nancy, bringing us down.
Mario Kart World.
Oh,
yes. Okay, I'm in
now. I was so excited to play a new Mario Kart. I played every day on stream. The maps are fantastic. The mechanics are cool. It's classic Nintendo where a child can play it, but if you're an absolute gamer, there's crazy shortcuts, there's ways you can do it. And then it's the reason I put it down was the straight tracks between the actual tracks, because they made it like an open world and you didn't actually get to do 3 laps around the map you just selected. It's like you just go down the highway and everyone spams items, and you don't get to like have a mode where you just do the maps. And it's crazy because there was basically 2 modes that did it, and they didn't have just a normal online mode. I think they ended up they stopped people from doing what they wanted to do, right? So the way you used to work around it is everyone started picking random, and if you got a random track, you got 3 laps of it normally. And they patched it out that if you picked random, it just gave you random of the 3 options you had before, which puts you straight back on the highway. And then I don't know if they walked it back at all again when people just stopped playing it. But
they have weighted the map selections to be more of the 3 laps, but they're still doing the highway stuff. Like it's still in there.
Yeah.
Whereas, in my opinion, I agree with you. It should be just excised from the game because it's such a colossally shitty way to race a car is on a straight track.
It's just like I don't mind that being an option, and they wanted to put that spin on the open world, and it was for kids. It's great too, but like when you have like really well designed maps, why the hell are you not letting people play it? It's just bonkers to me that you don't have an online mode that just lets you race 3 laps or 4 laps on the actual maps you've made.
Yeah, it is unbelievably boneheaded decision. And
you play the game we want you to play.
Yeah, not only is it a boneheaded decision, but the obstinance to change it to what people want is so mind-blowing.
Classic Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and this is the most popular game for the Nintendo Switch, the sequel to that, or really the Wii, right? Because this was a Wii game. Mario Kart 8 was a Wii game that got ported to the Switch. It was the most popular game. And like it's never gonna attain that level on this version because it's just
you messed up when people are going back and playing Mario Kart 8. Do you know what I mean? It's like people going back and playing your previous release. Like that's when you know you're not done the right thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they have all the tools to like fix it, right? And so what would be what would be a quick bigger update that you think could bring this back?
I just think you should have the option to select like I want to just race the maps.
So like the maps themselves and like the new controls and all that, like you're cool with it. It feels good to you, right?
Everything feels great.
And, in other words, you literally
I like the maps are cool, man. Like the tech involved, like if you go and learn a map, you can like do crazy shortcuts. There are so many cool
with the wall riding and everything.
The wall riding and the grinding and all that kind of stuff. Like that's what I want.
Yeah, and like to me, that if that's all you're really looking for in a major update, that's pretty easy to fix.
It's so easy, right? It's so easy, but they won't do it
in single player. It already exists in single player.
I'd have to log back in, but again, like I had the same reaction. I remember like on launch day I was looking over at it's like, wait, like how? I'm like, no. Where's like multiplayer? Like we just wanted to. I remember like yelling at my team, and I was like, no way. I'm like, where is this? And then like there was also like there was all kinds of confusion of like how to select stuff on the map, and like you couldn't queue up all these like tournament type things. And I'm like, what? They've already done this. How could it not be in the biggest Mario Kart update yet? You know, and like I'm not surprised, but of course a little surprised. So
like
I do think they'll come around.
No, they won't.
I don't think they're gonna.
No,
Fran.
Nintendo
They're
doesn't care,
really
man.
Being obstinate about it.
Nintendo gets forgiven for every single thing, and you can release a game like this, and you can still be at the Game Awards, and you will still get an 80-something at least from critics. It's ridiculous.
While we're on the topic of Nintendo, what about Metroid Prime 4?
Oof.
Does that make it to disappointing releases?
Yes. I mean, well,
I haven't played it yet. Don't spoil
you have to have hope, I think, first. And man, from that first trailer, I didn't have a lot of hope.
Damn.
Wait, you played it?
I haven't played it. Does anyone actually play it?
Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Yeah?
I have not played it.
Did you get very far, Briar, or just kind of...
I just was so uninspired. I probably got 3 hours in, and I was just so uninspired.
Oh, okay.
I will be honest. I far prefer 2D Metroid to 3D Metroid.
Oh, okay.
Far prefer it. But
I love both.
Getting on that motorcycle in that desert and picking up green shit, not for me. Not for me.
That's my biggest worry about that one.
That was the thing I heard a lot.
My biggest
like,
worry.
yeah, it was the bike, the desert, picking up stuff.
Yeah.
I won't say too much because I want Fran to play it and I want him to give me detailed analysis while he's playing it. And I'm really excited for this, Fran. Are you doing it tonight? Are you starting?
It is coming. No, I'm still getting over being sick and amongst the other things. It's coming. Yeah, no, I already know pretty well. I think I'll be like, this was solid. It was very reminiscent of things I loved about Metroid Prime, but really didn't like the desert stuff. I can already tell. And without that, though, love all these other things. Like, I'm sure it's going to be something like that.
Did you play the remake that just came out like a year ago?
Yeah, but I didn't finish. I just went back to it for like 3 hours or something like that when it first came out. I mean, it's great.
It is so stark playing that game and then playing the new one and being like, what the fuck? Like,
really? That's a bad sign if that's true. So
it's crazy.
All right, well, I mean, we'll have a lot to say when the time comes, trust me.
It's like playing a imitation of the original. It's like drinking Pepsi when you wanted a Coke. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of the same, but it fucking sucks.
I hope that I feel differently, but yeah, definitely mixed opinions on this one.
Well, can I ask you, Watts, a question here while we're talking about disappointing titles of the 2025? I was just doing some research, and one game that is brought up as a common thread over and over and over again throughout different forums and on different websites is Monster Hunter. Is there
Have you
a
watched
reason
the Digital
why...
Foundry video?
I've seen your TikToks. What? They keep popping up.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your take on that. Is that like a common? Is that as common as it looks like it is, or is it generally pretty well received, or why is it getting that much attention?
People who are playing right now are loving it and are really happy and are having the time of their lives. When it still has performance issues, I think, for some people. So that was a big thing, is the PC performance issues. And then at the beginning, it was kind of stripped back a little bit as a Monster Hunter experience to try and obtain more players and get a wider variety of players. So the beginning of it was like a lot easier, but it was also just easier to get all of the armor and all of the weapons that you want. Like, you wouldn't have to farm a monster multiple times to get a thing for quite a while into the game. So it made a plea to players who were maybe interested in the franchise, but they didn't find that it was easy to get into, or it was too hard to take into consideration all of like you got to go and do farming runs where you get honey and herbs, and you have to go and fight this monster because they're not giving you a gem and you got to hunt them for like an hour. They kind of stripped away a lot of that, but since I would probably say the spring title update, they've been bringing in a lot more difficult hunts. I'd probably say since then, all of them have been pretty difficult. It's on a scale because some of them are easier than others, but they've all been pretty difficult generally. And they also lowered the drop rate of like new monsters' rarest materials, so you do have to farm them for longer. And that loop is just it's back. It's back. Super easy. But now you have like talismans that you can hunt for. You have a whole new endgame system with weapons that you're farming for, which you can make really interesting builds with. So players that are playing now are really enjoying it. There is definitely
mostly like just veterans that bounced off and didn't like.
No, I think the veterans are still playing. I think it's the casuals that have left. Thank God. Go away and stay away.
Hey, that's me.
Dang! Okay.
No, listen. I say this just because
I bounced off for exactly what you said. Like, I only got into Monster Hunter.
You wanted the original experience.
Yeah. I wanted the intention and the build up of the hunt.
Yeah.
Not like almost arcade mode, like just getting straight back, like, I wanted
monster fighting. Yeah.
Exactly. I wanted the hunt.
Yeah. I think it's something that they have learned, because like they made the game so easy, and so that even players who weren't particularly good at the game were able to clear everything without putting any thought into their build. So they never had to like learn their weapon or go, this monster does fire damage. Maybe I want to make some armor that has fire resistance. They never had to go through that loop. And those players are never going to be turned into long-term players because they're not getting any of the loot.
You need to give them the
all.
lows. They need to have a low to experience
They
the
need
high.
the lows. I actually had a short that I said, we had a whole discussion about AI, and then we went into like the No Child Left Behind Act that was in the US that has kind of destroyed US education. And I ultimately said that, and because of the No Child Left Behind Act and AI is how I started with Monster Hunter getting everything I wanted. Because all of these kids just grow up getting everything they want, no resistance, no pushback. So God forbid you have to hunt a monster 3 times to get a gem. They quit as soon as there's any kind of resistance.
Hey, but you get a trophy for coming, though. You know what I'm saying?
You get a trophy. Yeah. All of these like participation rewards. No, you need to have some resistance. You need to experience resistance in your life. I think it's a bad thing to just get everything you want and desire immediately. Or you just, don't manage to complete the class or finish the test, but keep going. Good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I think every game just needs, like, there needs to be some challenge in every game, right? If you just make it too easy, then it's like, what are you aspiring to? Like,
It's
why
boring.
do I need builds? Why do I need armor? Why do I need to loot if I can already do everything?
Exactly. Yep. And like now in Monster Hunter now, it's like if you have players who play the campaign, those players are not going to be hunting these endgame monsters because now the game is too hard and they haven't had a slow increase. They've never hit a wall where they needed to learn about any of this stuff. But I think they've definitely learned their lesson. The thing with the Capcom team, it's a double-edged sword. They really listen to feedback and they really take it to heart. So if you have a bunch of people that are like, the hunts take too long and I have to farm a monster like way too many times, then they're going to swing to try and fix that when we don't want to fix that. So I say like, hopefully this keeps the casuals away. I'm 2% joking. It's just because there's this thing of, when we see it with anime, we see it with a lot of things. When your thing that is kind of niche gets really popular, the CEOs or executives or whoever it is wants to try and appeal to a larger and larger and larger audience instead of being happy with like their really hardcore niche audience. And then they end up fundamentally changing the thing that made it special in the first place.
Yeah. It's such a bizarre thing. And you see it all the time where it's like the thing got popular because it was different, because it was niche, and then you remove that, it becomes mainstream. You're like, well, now it's not fun anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a silly thing, right? It's like your game has gotten really, really popular because of how it is.
Weird. Because it was weird.
Yeah, you don't need to go and change. You don't need to go and change it.
Be who you are.
Or just difficult.
Franchise has been around for 25 years. It'll be fine.
Like, yeah, I mean, From Software, that's why you got to respect them. Is they're like, no, we're not. There is no easy mode. I'm sorry, we're not doing that. And I'm sure they had a lot of pressure. Like, well, we think you could sell more copies and make more money, and they're like, that's not what this game is, though. Which that's where it's hard. Like it's exactly what you're saying. It's like the CEOs and everyone above, they want to make more money, and they just look at a data sheet that's like, well, most people who played only played for this many hours, and they said it was too hard, so make it easier. And you're like, well, that's not. It's
exactly that. Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah. It's a bunch of people looking at stats and data and going, oh, well, these people died on the first quest, so we have to make it really easy so they don't do that, and they keep playing. But they don't look at, they don't know about game design and why things work so well.
I think boardroom leadership in the gaming industry is not ideal. You want everything to be passion driven, and I think that some of the most standout games in recent history have been pure passion projects, like Clair Obscur, like Baldur's Gate, very unapologetically like, no, we're just doing things our way, and this is how we're going to launch it, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it goes back to the heart of like we hear so often where it's just like, just let them cook. Like, let a talented team do their thing, and like even whatever, do some early access, whatever.
Actualize their
adjust,
vision,
listen to the audience as well, talk to the audience, and go through that whole process, but without too much mucking it up from above. So yeah. like Mario Kart.
And that's the thing. But you also have to be willing to live by that sword and die by that sword, because some people's passion project will not land. But I would still rather them take a big swing and fail, and I'm sure they're not happy with failure. Don't get me wrong, but
no.
But I'd rather see people take big swings, and it's the highs and the lows all over again. I think in order to experience those passion project highs, we also have to be okay with every now and then getting delivered those losses too.
But that's the dance of the structure, It's like you could look at a game like Coven of the Chicken Foot from Bruce Straley that came out at the Game Awards reveal, and it's an indie game now. This is a guy that co-founded Naughty Dog, everything from Crash and Jack to Last of Us and those achievements, right? And understanding, what it is sitting on top of huge budgets in a AAA studio like that. But then having a very tiny team and just like believing in a core vision and like having to swim through all that. But in other words, what I was thinking most about is that's where it's helpful to have the leadership within the creative direction of the team versus like just pure, like Warner Brothers, right? Where they get so involved from the executive level. So in other words, I've no doubt that, say, Ubisoft Montreal probably had or has some good creative directors and stuff, but like what happened with like Gotham Knights, and we know what happened with Suicide Squad. It's like, okay, what did they actually want to do? And then where the executive team got involved, definitely you see things probably they went quite wrong. So less of that, please.
Yes.
Yep. We'll see what 2026 brings.
Always bringing a lot. I'm so excited.
Don't release GTA.
Anybody got any more disappointments for 2025?
Too soon. I'm going to keep it on a high note. I'm going to be like Myelin. He's trying to bring us down. But that was a good one.
Closing now, right?
I had high hopes for Wildgate, and I thought, okay, this is a really fun beta, and then the full game was basically the beta, and it was one of those.
Oh, so it wasn't deep enough?
No, I didn't think so. I thought they needed more places of interest scattered throughout the map. I thought they needed a denser kind of a space, because you did find one of the things that was kind of aggravating for us is that we found ourselves in a lot of situations where it's like, okay, we need to chase down this ship and let's go get their loot. And you wanted to do the PvP thing, but then you just found yourself for 20 minutes just keeping pace with them throughout the galaxy. You're just like, get back here.
Yeah, right.
No, don't do,
Didn't they just have a free weekend or something? Or are they closing?
Yeah, they've been
it was free on Epic Games.
They've been trying to sort of entice people to come into it. And it's not that you can't have fun in the game. We did have some fun, but we bounced off very quickly. Just because we just felt like it didn't take us very long to feel like, okay, we have done the game. No.
Yeah, it is. It's free on Epic Games right now. If you want to check it out. I don't know if that's permanent or not, but
I had high hopes.
What about Dune Awakening?
Oh man.
You hadn't thought about that. This
Everybody
is like
I avoided it
in 2025.
Right.
I mean, that should be huge. Should have been. I mean, it was big enough, but because I kind of dipped out of it pretty early, and I had my entire friend group played it for ages, and I was like, what? Why are people not playing it anymore? And it's kind of like the end game fell off. Really, it's like didn't feel like similar to Wildgate. Like, what am I chasing? Like, what are we doing when we get to the end, rather than just like a standard survival crafting game?
I know some people who played it a ton though. So to me, that one seems more likely to get like a big expansion at some point that will draw a bunch of people back in.
Possibly.
I got the impression that people were like loving the core of it, and then maybe just ran out of stuff to do.
Fran, you've been playing Destiny?
I have. Is it time to chat Destiny?
Yeah.
Yay.
So I think I referenced it at the beginning of the show, but my 4090, I think, in my Windows configuration, I don't know what it is, but Destiny's the only game that crashes. And it'll be like 3 hours. So I'll waste sometimes 45 minutes doing stuff where I have to start it all over. So long story short, that kind of sucked, but didn't have it a ton, enough that I wasn't able to finish it until right before or around Christmas. Got it done. Was glad that I did. You may remember when I first played Destiny 2 Renegades, I was like, man, just like if you already own the content but aren't sure and you don't want to get drawn back in, I'm like, just play the first mission. But you like watch the recap, especially if you like Star Wars. I'm telling you, like you don't have to get invested. You got probably extra 300, vault spaces in your grid if you need them, but you can hop straight back in, and it was really thrilling. But anyway, as you go along, that what they did in the beginning, those are the things I like the most. But there's a lot of like stretch in between for me personally with the usual, like go back to Tharsis, which is the cantina area, and it's like talk to this person and go talk to that person, and then load back into the activity, and it is mostly the activity, and then you'll get to like a mission eventually. But I don't remember the exacts of Edge of Fate, right? The release in the summer, that first expansion of this now new mid-size. Did we get 2 a year? 2 mid-size expansions? But I remember liking more of the like, I felt like I could just kind of keep pushing through, playing missions, fighting mini bosses, fighting bosses. So I actually liked that a lot, even if I had a lot of feedback on the things I did and didn't like at Edge of Fate. But yeah, Renegades was, in general, I'd say gameplay-wise, I think it was pretty cool. They did a good job with like the lightsaber. But the opening mission and everything, all the explosive cutscenes and all, I don't know. I feel like the opening, everything was there for me. But then there is like, it's a secret Ascendant style mission. And that one is really cool. And it's basically like a Whisper of the Worm style mission. So it has the same feeling as an exotic mission. They really cooked the music and all that. So actually, I take that back. That one, as well as the first mission, but there was some stretch in between. But man, those two stood out to me and absolutely worth playing if you don't mind getting through all that stuff. And story-wise, I would say, again, to repeat, people, I think, see the Renegade Star Wars influence and they think that it's going to be like so on the nose with Star Wars. I don't think it's super on the nose, but they definitely they intentionally said, okay, let's make sure we have some kind of Death Star. Let's make sure we have our Kylo Ren, let's make sure we have lightsabers and we have like walkers, which are kind of like ATSTs. And so they do have that, but I never feel, in other words, that it's like, oh, it's just Star Wars. But it absolutely seems like they do the trench run, for example. You don't get to fly in it or anything if you're hoping, but they do it. Like, there's a lot of homage. Yeah, there's like a bunch of homage where you're like, oh, that's pretty much that scene from blank. So if you like Star Wars, there's a lot to like in there. So overall, I liked it. Back to the story. I don't even know. So in Edge of Fate, at the end of Edge of Fate, the 9 you find out they've been doing all sorts of stuff. You're fighting back against them. I forget exactly what happens, but essentially you are warned of an extinction event. So you're basically like, you're finding out that like they're gonna kill you all the Guardians, everybody.
The 9 are gonna kill everybody.
I don't remember if it's like all the 9. Again, pardon, Chad. This is a Fran lore drop.
This is Fran lore. Fran lore.
Go watch Bife.
Fran lore.
But essentially, there's going to be like an extinction event, and Drifter understands the gravity of that. Meanwhile, at the tower, Zavala and the Vanguards like kind of try to like, quiet that down. Try not to don't let the people get restless, and that's where Renegades kind of starts. And then it's I forget if it's 6 or 3, which one of the 9 that is exerting control over this new Kylo Ren character. What's his name? Bale. And so anyway, that's where it all kind of starts. And they also have acquired like this power from the 9 that's essentially like the Death Star beam. And that's how, you see like a huge cutscene in the beginning where they use this, what's it called? It's this red beam of power, but it's essentially, it nukes everything. It's not like other power that you've seen. It will just destroy and take away the ability to like resurrect and all that stuff. So it's super powerful. And that is like a warning of this extinction event coming for you. So anyway, the story in general is just you trying to stop that in dealing with the 9 through Lodi, who is like this new character in Edge of Fate, as well as Bale. And you do find out some things about like what Bale, who is basically like Kylo, is really about. There's a twist on that towards the end, but it doesn't conclude in a way that you're like, oh man, complete wrap up the story. It concludes in a way where basically Bale gets away and is still kind of out there, and the 9 are still up to stuff, but you're a little bit more
up to
wise. So
someone in chat just shouted out the syzygy. Is that a thing in the story? The syzygy?
Not that I remember.
The syzygy. Oh my god! You can't be
the red beam. It starts with an E.
Destiny lore. Syzygy.
Mylin's excited.
What's this?
The syzygy was the hive law where the moons aligned and they thought there was going to be a god wave that wiped them all out. It was the greatest lie that they told the hive.
Yes,
to force them
I remember
into the
that.
Bond with the worm gods.
Oh,
yes.
We got to get you back in, Myelin.
They were lying
yeah,
to
we
me.
need you to.
Got him just like that. Well, I only asked because that word syzygy made me call back to Destiny 1. There was a pulse rifle called the 123 syzygy. That's
1,
the
2, 3
first ever
syzygy.
Watts video I ever watched on YouTube. Because you had a series. Do you remember the series you did called Less Loved in
Yeah,
Destiny 1?
that was fun.
And you did
That was a
the
good time.
123 syzygy. And I was like loving that gun. I was like, I wonder if anyone's covering it. And I just like typed it into YouTube and your video came up. And I was like, oh, she seems fun.
Nice.
That was
By
a
the way, I
fun
think
gun.
Chi Papa from chat, thank you. I think it's called the Eclipse, this red Death Star beam power. But it is this like extinction level power from the 9 that is being wielded. And that was a whole other thing with the Cabal. And there's like an Emperor that was basically like the Emperor, but he's a Cabal. But all this is going to lead to whatever's next. There is like the Shadow and Order update, so I'm sure that will have some story in March. We'll kind of see. I don't think they've previewed anything from that. And then we're already coming back up on, I don't know if it'll be July, we'll get another expansion, which I think they kind of let slip. I don't know if it's the official name or the code name. It was like Shattered. Dang it. I had it before. The Alchemist is the one in winter. And I'll look up the name, but Shattered something is the one in summer. So 2 more expansions coming out.
Is this one going to have like a theme? Like a motif, like the Star Wars motif?
I'm sure it will. I don't know if they've talked about what that is.
We had the Metroid motif before that.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Metroid, Vania inspiration, and really like the Metroid Morpho. And this was Star Wars. And they had roguelite, technically, with like this coin flip mechanic. Oh, by the way, I think they could have done a lot more with that. I didn't even touch on that. I think I did in previous episodes, though. But I did like that new mechanic. Basically, you got a new button, like pressing the R3 stick to like call the coin in the air, and you could use 1 of 2 powers. But my feeling was like, man, I would have even had more fun. Like, let me choose from even more. You know, they could have cooldowns, but that's a really good opportunity for the gameplay. But anyway, Shattered Cycle. That's what it is. That's in summer. So we'll see. Chat, be sure to get in those YouTube comments and really explain the story to people.
Tell us everything we got wrong.
While you're talking, I totally forgot to talk about one of the most disappointing things about 2025, and that's Ghost of Yotei. Oh my God. I was so disappointed by that.
Don't spoil it for me.
I want to hear. Okay. We could do it without spoiling, maybe.
Okay. No
he only
spoilers.
wants to play Renegades. I mean,
True.
Legends.
That is true. I definitely want to play Legends. Legends was the best part of the first game, but the first game was much more compelling as far as the single player goes. The single player, like campaign, a story of Yotei, I think was god awful. I mean, it was so formulaic and so like you've seen it a million times. There's no personality to the main character. It was for all of the innovation that they brought to the Assassin's Creed like type of game. Oh, we're gonna put Assassin's Creed in Japan, which you've wanted since you first heard of Assassin's Creed, but now you've gotten 24 of them since then. So like that has worn off like that. But like they did so many cool things with like, oh, navigating the map, following the wind. Like there was just none of that innovation was in Yotei. Like none of it. It felt like the same game again, but worse. It was so disappointing.
Yeah.
I can't believe how disappointed I played 4 hours of it. I was like, gone.
Oh, so you didn't play any more after that?
No, I was like instantly like, this sucks. I can't stand this.
I've played a lot. I'm like on the very final chapter. I've just never found the want to go back to it. I think the thing with Tsushima was that it was such a beautiful open world. It was very like there weren't a bunch of markers all over the map. That was really nice. The combat was fun. You had this I actually really liked the story of Jin having to deal with I'm from a samurai family and I understand that if I want to win this war, I have to maybe play a little bit dirty doing things that aren't honorable. And I really
Yeah,
like
was
that
compelling.
balance and how always in the back of Jin's head he's like, I shouldn't be doing this. And you were becoming the ghost and you would hear people speak more and more about you like you're this legend. And I really liked that. With Ghosts of Yotei, like the graphics are better, right? And I think they did
Fair.
better work with their side quests because the side quests now work with the main story. It's not just like, look at this ground and look at footprints like 8 times over. They have more variety in their
There was
side
more
stuff
variety,
and it
but
links
they
more
still
to the
weren't
main
good.
story. I wouldn't say that they were great. No, I think it was just better. But so I think they did a bunch of things better, but I didn't really find myself enjoying Yotei. And I think a lot of it is because it is so much the first game that of course it's not going to hit the same as the first time you experience it. And then they didn't do anything beyond. I don't think the writing got better. And I didn't like the main character either. I didn't like Atsu. And I didn't yeah, almost staring at me. I didn't like Atsu. I think the story is very kind of generic revenge story.
Yeah.
So it kind of just did the same thing and didn't innovate enough to make me go, "Oh, I'm so excited to be playing like Ghosts again." I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
Are you a house
First game
divided on
was
that?
Really good.
Oh, no. He hasn't played it yet. I told him not to
Okay.
and to play Claire Obscura instead.
I am still looking forward to Legends though.
Yeah, I will play
Yeah, of
Legends for
course.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, Legends is apart from it anyway, so yeah, it'll be interesting whenever.
Yeah, too
it
bad they
hits.
didn't
I don't
release
know,
it
I
when
don't
the
think they
game came
said
out.
yet,
Maybe I
right?
would have played the game. But
I mean,
Probably
but
wouldn't
you're
have,
still gonna
'cause you-
play the
maybe
game
you
when
would
it
have
comes
had-
out. What's the difference?
what's that?
And you did play the game.
I played the game for like 3
I was
hours.
joking,
I'm
I was like-
this is terrible. I could be playing it right now
Yeah.
if Legends mode was out.
No, I know. I was joking that you're going to play it anyway for Legends. So what's the difference? In fact, you wouldn't have played the main game for 3 hours. You would have played it less. So they got you
Yeah,
on that one.
to my benefit.
I'm just kidding. Mm, yeah, I
Can
don't know
we
if they've
talk
said yet.
about the New Game Plus showcase?
I would
Please.
love to hear it about it.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Okay.
it, so I think you're our source.
Okay. So this showcase was put together by 5 content creators, and their hope and what their goal was is that they wanted to create a showcase where you get there because they just think your game is cool. They think your game is cool and they want to tell people about it, which I thought is a fantastic premise. It's all a bunch of people who play a lot of games and are very involved with games all the time. So they're like, you're not going to be overshadowed by games with a huge budget to get their game in our showcase. It's focused on, we think your game is cool, we're going to showcase it, whether you're a AA, indie, AAA, and whatever that is. They have a description of putting authentic excitement back at the center of game reveals. It very much seems kind of like a response to the Game Awards and what Jeff Keighley does. So we tuned in. Before I tuned in, I saw a tweet saying the showcase is 3.5 hours long. And I was like, what do you mean 3.5 hours long? The only thing that's that long is the Game Awards. Every other like Xbox showcase, PlayStation showcase, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. So that was like, oh, what are they doing for 3.5 hours? We started watching, and first of all, The bit rate is really bad. For those of you at home listening who don't know what bit rate is, if you have a low bit rate and you're streaming something on the internet, the video is going to get really pixelated when any movement is happening, or even in dark areas, you can't really see what's going on because the bit rate is so low. So I was kind of upset about that, but I was like, okay, I'm going to try and ignore it. And then they are doing a thing where sometimes they have an interview with the devs, but like right at the beginning of the show, it's a lot of dev interviews. So they'll introduce 3 games, they'll do 3 game dev interviews with a little bit of gameplay, and then it's followed by these 5 content creators sitting on a couch talking for like 20 minutes. No gameplay, nothing, just them talking. And then they do the same thing again for 3.5 hours. So it was a whole lot of, we're not actually seeing a whole lot of games. I wasn't expecting them, this is their first time doing this, to have huge announcements and game devs bringing their big announcements here to this showcase. But there was not a whole lot of gameplay going on, and just a whole lot of content creators sitting on a couch yapping about these 3 games. And another thing that they didn't do, which seemed like a really simple thing, is to have like something on the screen saying what game they're interviewing the dev about, you know, because we were like this the whole time, like, this looks kind of cool, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember. What was the name of that game? It's very simple things that you would think that people who have watched so many game shows, and one of them has absolutely talked about how annoyed they've been at game shows not showing enough game trailers. You would think that they would know to maybe do things a little bit differently.
Is this the classic, I could do it better? Oops, I made all the same mistakes that I
Yeah,
criticized everyone else too?
I kid you not, it is the worst thing I have ever watched. It is
Whoa.
by far the worst
Ew.
showcase
Briar. Oh.
ever.
Did you miss this last season
I
of
need to
Game of
go.
Thrones?
Oh, it's so much worse. It's so
What's it
bad.
called again?
It's
I need to go have a look.
New Game Plus Showcase. It very much gives the impression of we know that everyone's going to want to sit here and listen to us talk and go, but they were the talking sections. It's not like they had these notes where they were like bringing up stuff that they found out in the interview that they could talk about later. It was just them saying, oh yeah, there's a game and there's like guns, and then did you see that base building that was in the trailer? That was cool. It was just that. It was them explaining what we just saw. It was so.
It was one of those. This
so
could have been an email
bad.
things.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
I'm looking at the top comment from the VOD. Holy fuck, did they talk a lot?
It's yeah, no, it was really, really bad. It's kind of like, it would have been fine as a podcast, but they specifically said this is a showcase. A showcase is supposed to be punchy and hype and exciting. This was like a podcast.
I'm upset that talking was interrupted by game trailers.
There was a really great comment that was it said, the New Game Plus showcase where you don't have to compete with $1 million sponsored segments, but you do have to compete with 5 content creators who want to hear themselves speak.
Yeah, I mean,
That's rough.
I don't know much about the format, but I can say, yeah, that is a very long time for a showcase.
A showcase.
And yeah, if you at a minimum, if you're gonna produce that kind of thing, I don't know why you'd want to make it that long. Yeah, like you should just make it the 90 minutes, and then also you're gonna have to really tighten your presentation. And I'm looking that they have, I guess there's a host sitting in the middle, and then there's 2 people on each side, kind of thing. But I'm like, that's a lot of people. Without, I assume that, I don't know if they had a script or how they handled that, but that's just there's a reason why
script. It seemed like very loose.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that for this type of thing, I think. So, but I don't know. Was there any? Maybe I missed it. Was there any content in there that was like, well, that was really good, you know? But
No.
it was jammed. No,
Just straight up no.
There was 7-month-old trailers.
From an interview.
They had an interview with the devs, but the way that they did the interview was they would just show the developers talking about a thing, but you have no context about what they're talking about. So you don't get to hear the question that was asked of the developers. You just all of a sudden the developers just like talking about something, and you're like, I don't know what they're talking about. It was actually truly true. It was really bad. I was sitting there like, guys, I don't know what they're talking about. And then they a lot of these developers have pretty poor mic quality, which is fine, but then they're also playing music. So you're just hearing like this contrasting music, bad mic thing, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, it's so bad.
I noticed some of that. Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I'd have to watch it to get a real impression, but I personally don't love. Well, let me put it a different way. I like the heart of what they were getting at, which is like, look, we just want. It's like why people watch streams, right? And content creators are like, oh, it's authentic, it's real. What do you think of this game? Just tell me it's real, right? And that's good. You got to be careful when you're producing stuff, and Jeff has struggled with that in a lot of ways for the Game Awards as well as others have. But I am reading the description again, and it's like designed to put authentic excitement back at the center of game reveals. Okay, authentic excitement. I mean, it's kind of carries a lot of presumption with that, but okay. Unlike traditional showcase, we don't accept paid placements. Every game we feature is there because our team of 6 core creators is generally excited. Again, like the heart of it's good, but also let's just assume that Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic paid to be a part of the Game Awards. It was going to be in there anyway. So therein lies, a bigger discussion, but meaning it's not like the stuff that was in the Game Awards in general was like really unauthentic and bad. The pre-show,
right?
Everybody thinks High Guard was paid to be at the end. I get those discussions, but meaning if you pick apart the Game Awards, is there that much stuff in there that you're like, wow, what a terrible lineup?
I was going to say, like,
I don't
prove that we like the Game Awards format.
Well, and what I'm getting at is because I would have
past format was really good. I think they struck a really good balance.
Yeah, it's very hard to do because it's like supposed to be an awards show on top. It's not just the game showcase, even though it really is, but it's a game award on top of it. But my only point is not to say the Game Awards is perfect, but more that like it's not like when you really get to the meat of it, Control. What was that? That new shooter from the Far Cry team I love. There's just a bunch. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. So I just feel like the description, I get the heart of it, but it's very presumptuous. And it's a little misleading, right? Like I know and can tell you that, yeah, I've seen and been even around where like you have PowerPoint presentations for your sales team where it's like, hey, we're putting together the Game Awards, but it's not like to guarantee you to be in the show. They do have some of that. Like I said, it could be in the first third but even then there's the filter. Like you get my point. It's like the stuff that makes it in the show is still got to pass that high quality grade. You don't just get to be in the show because what I mean by this is, do you know how many gacha games would be in the Game Awards if all you had to do was pay? Just use your head about that. Like seriously, they make so much money. So it's definitely
it'll just be mobile game. Here's Monopoly again. Oh, Monopoly's back.
Yeah. And I just want to end that thought by saying I was a stickler at IGN and like it needs to be more of a stickler thing with the Game Awards. But I don't like if money's exchanged for something, it may not be required in this format, but just say
it needs to be disclosed. I don't know.
And it's a huge problem.
Why under law it's not disclosed. If I have to disclose accepting anything from a game company and I make a YouTube video about it, how do you have a whole game show that paid to have a place that's not described as an ad? Well, they should just have time for ads and then play the trailer.
But that's where you get into like a very specific separation. One is this is just an ad, and that's normally there's stuff at the beginning of the show, and I can't remember.
Paid for it. It's a different. It's as soon as you get paid for it, there should be disclosure.
Aren't all game trailers ads?
No, I know that.
Yeah, but if you pay me to put the trailer on my channel, I have to disclose that.
Yes.
So why does the Game Awards, who are streaming on YouTube and have the VOD up, not disclose when they're paid to show a trailer?
I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is you sort of have like, this is just an ad. Like it's an inserted, this is just an ad for this. This really was just a trailer for this gacha game. And we didn't really care that much, but they paid us enough. And then there's we have editorially selected these things, but they did pay us to be a part of the show because we had so much that was editorially selected. So that is still an ad, but you would
there's some
say
nuance there,
you would
for
say
sure.
something like it's presented by Electronic Arts and it's their game, and
Yeah.
you would make that clear. Or even at the end of the show, disclose that in some credits to make it clear, because this discussion is, I'm not defending it. It's more that we are so in the weeds now. You've got people putting together a showcase, basically leading people to believe that anything you see in the Game Awards was only paid to be there. And I'm not saying I know the facts, but again, like Fate of the Old Republic.
I'm gonna go on
like,
YouTube
you know
and
what I mean?
report them for not disclosing ads. See what happens.
I think because it's all streamed and like they can get around it. But it should be disclosed. This is the reason why, is you create distrust with the audience. And that I was 100% on the same page as you, Myelin, is like, I hate having to have this discussion because, again, I'm okay with that's what sorry to end this. I don't think it's a problem having money exchange. Like if they wanted to put an ad in the game showcase, do it in a way that works. That's not terrible. Nobody loves ads though, but if it supports a great show, you can do it, but then make sure you disclose when money's exchanged for branded content and all that stuff. So anyway, it's messy. So
Yeah,
sure I wouldn't
I think the thing that's with the new game show plus showcase as well that's rough is that it kind of does give this air of, well, we're content creators and so we know games and we love games and we're going to show you games in a truly authentic, genuine way. It's like those videos where you see brutal, honest review. We're the honest ones and the industry is bad. And it's like, you know, there was, I'll give you, so part of the conversation when they're doing the talking, there was this one game that actually looked pretty cool. I added it to my wish list. And it cut to one of the people and they said, I wasn't really sure about this game. Then I saw there were normal guns and then I was in. That was the level. This is the level of commentary that we are dealing with. It's, I started off being a little disappointed, then I was annoyed, and then I was just angry for like a 3.5 to 4 hour show. And I think it's also upsets me, not like upsets, but the developers who were a part of that show, the trailers looked terrible because of the bit rate, and then they were showing like the interview and like a lack of gameplay. It was such a poor showing of all of the games that were there, unless the developers recorded a video and just sent them a video of them recording this thing and talking about their game. But anything that was an interview, it was a really bad showing. So I don't think they did any
an
favors.
art form, and I think that I think that a lot of content creators make the assumption that since they are entertainers, that that's an easy translation just to hop over into being a good interviewer, and they are very different skill sets. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, putting together an interview and knowing what questions to ask, and then they're not using the whole interview during these segments, so you're also figuring out which part should we use that actually put across what this game is and gets the message across that the developer's trying to say.
That's such a Netflix does this for documentaries. We'll copy this format, but like you don't realize how curated that is when you get an answer from someone and the audience is working out the question. It's like in a way of engaging people's brain, like, oh, what are they talking about? And then you very quickly get the answer of what they're talking about. But if you don't do that properly, you just give the answers without the question.
It was crazy.
It makes no sense.
They were talking about character creator in the one of the game, the Expanse game, and then they brought up that you have a sibling just out of nowhere, and we're like, what is this? What are we talking about? There's a sibling? And then they started talking about the sibling, and I'm like, are we talking about the character creator? Or like, what are we talking about? It's just like bouncing all over the place with no context at all.
Interesting.
So it sounds like it's a good idea, poorly implemented.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to do all of this, they needed that, which you would think they would understand. I know some of them definitely understand this, that there are different audiences for a showcase versus dev interviews versus like content creators talking about what they just watched. These are all completely different audiences. So they should have had the showcase with like the trailers. Maybe you have a couple dev interviews, and then you could have all of the dev interviews for people who want to really go and look at that stuff in depth. And then you could have an after show where all of you talk about everything that was shown and all of that stuff. There's a reason that companies do this, right? They have a pre-show, the showcase, and the after show. There's a reason.
Kind of interesting. I'm just having a look at the content creators who did this, and they're like known for being like critics, like game news critics, and it's like, are you gonna make an article about yourself now?
They are the main ones calling out all. Yes.
Yeah.
Not
again.
Luality is really awesome.
parody.
She was the
I
only
love it.
one with charisma on that entire show the entire time. Like that was the other thing as well, is that there was just no. I think like Fran said that's a lot of people to have there. It would be better if you have two of them that have really good charisma together talking about this rather than like 5 people. Sometimes no one's saying anything. There's one person, Luality, is like really bubbly and excited and is showing off these games with passion. And then you have other people who are just like, yeah, I saw normal guns and I thought the game might be okay.
Yeah. That shouldn't. It sounded like they were just podcasting between, and they
were.
It's almost. I didn't watch it, but it almost sounds they were like, okay, well, we got this interview. Watch this, and now everybody react to it real fast, and they took the best take from it or something. And like, to your point, I would have. I probably, if they all had to be in it, I would have. Used them singularly between, to do their own. Like a quick, wow, I am so excited for this one personally. I love action RPGs, and it was really cool when they talked about, but like, you have to really plan it out, and then like you said, Watts, that was a brilliant note for sure. It's like, do either a complete breakout, but plan the post show, and that way if people don't want to sit around for all that, they don't have to. So
I guess,
but I didn't watch it.
It's a bit harder when you're not just sitting there dogging on Concord for 20 videos in a row.
I would imagine though that if I don't know how the interviews were conducted, if the developers had a lot of, their own questions they asked themselves and stuff like that. But I'd imagine there's some news in there and some interesting stuff. There's got to be, but yeah, I don't want to watch a 4 hour
Avowed is coming to PlayStation.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. That's literally it.
And by the way, this might just be because
ESRB rating on that. By the way, sorry.
Avowed.
Oh, and Avowed.
Yeah.
I'm not.
While you look that up, I was just gonna say, tell me, I might be crazy, but it's probably just coincidence. But if you look at the thumbnail on their video page, it's like it looks like they almost mocked the IGN video thumbnail style on YouTube. I won't say that because the team did that after I left, or started to use it a lot more. Just that white style with like the game logo but I've always personally not liked the style, but they did it the exact same way. So when I looked, I was like, wait, are they mocking the IGN thumbnail style? Because I actually don't like it. It doesn't matter for them. But did they look at the IGN thing and like try to intentionally? It could be a coincidence.
I have no idea.
It'd be a coincidence. I get that sometimes where someone's like, why does your thumbnail look a lot like this other creator's thumbnail?
Yeah,
like,
it is a very
real
simple
answer, because the guy who created that guy's thumbnail template also made mine. We both hired the same artist. So
no, it's for those who don't know what I'm talking about, IGN just does a white outline around like game trailer, official trailer, and they've been doing it for a long time. There's a lot that I personally had notes on about it. But
maybe we were saying, Fran, that they should hire you for their next year's showcase.
Well, don't throw me under the bus if you don't like it.
Well, you're not a part of it. What if it happens next year and it's so good and we hired our new producer, Fran? Oh wow, it was so amazing.
You could be
Fran
the savior.
We all know
you could be the savior.
The savior.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure you can work with a bunch of content creators.
Hey, you never know.
I know.
But well, I know Luke Stevens already loves me after the High Guard reaction stuff. So no, I don't think he had anything super negative to say. But it's funny because I had seen Jake Lucky's tweet. I think it was today, and he had retweeted, about High Guard something. And he's like, can't believe we're at a point where $1 million placements. And like, I almost responded. I was like, hey, I'm sure money's exchanged for some of these, kind of like I was talking about, but I almost was going to challenge him on it. Say like, do you have a source of information that this is a fact? Because it's a bit misinformation to present.
You've got to fire back now with a jab at the
Game,
I know. Game Awards. You've got to be like,
you got to be pretty dumb if you think.
Do you have a source? You're like, do you have a source for that? And then they'll go, oh no.
They might say, I've heard. I really wish Jeff
I have a source,
like I said,
but I won't say anything because I have integrity based on what my friend told me.
That's true. You said you have a source, but it wasn't paid to be there.
Right back. If you took some sponsorships, maybe you would have a higher production for your latest.
It's like, well, maybe there's a reason they do.
Yeah. I mean, again, Jeff
Turns
should
out
shut this down,
making
but
presentations is hard.
it is, yeah.
hard.
Jeff's issue is that, yeah, there are placements of some kind, and I don't know how much that line is drawn between stuff. And that's where, like, he almost can't say, no, it wasn't paid to be in there, because then he has to probably talk about how it works, which, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I guarantee you, like, Watts is confirming, apparently, it was not paid to be at the end for $1 million. But maybe they paid a marketing fee for it to be in the show somewhere. I don't know. Anyway. Yep. New game
thank you for
plus
cluing us
showcase.
in. That was interesting.
Yeah, go watch it.
Very
Just go
informative.
watch it if you want to get.
I'll watch a bit more.
I said that it feels like I've been on a plane for like 7 hours, and I'm getting real. You know, when you get into the point where you're a little uncomfortable, you're watching anything you can find that's even remotely entertaining because you just
Keep looking at
want
the
to
map.
get over with it. Yeah, you keep looking up the map. How long? 12. God, that's how it felt. That's how the showcase
flight
felt.
over the Pacific every time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that map where it just shows you like over the ocean.
You're staring at it. Please, God, please just
show me some land. Show me some land.
Yep.
Right.
I think that's about it.
Should we wrap
Next
this one up?
week we are going to be doing a fantasy critic, everybody. And the way that it's going to work is we're going to create a DCP league. We're going to do the draft live during the podcast. We're going to basically, if you know nothing about fantasy critic, it works kind of like a football draft where you're picking games that you think are going to review well. And then after it's all said and done, you will have a couple of spaces left that you'll fill out throughout the year. Like if a game gets announced and you're like, oh, that game looks cool, I'll add it to my list. You can just do that. It's real simple. And the person who wins is the one who gets the most amount of points.
So and is that only at the end of the year?
Yeah. End of the year, we'll say who the winner is. Yep.
But you can trash talk all year.
Yeah, so your game can come out and go, you see that? 90. What did yours do? 72. Loser. Yep.
So does it is it like you pick what you think the best game will be for like the month? Or
Just
how does
the
it
year.
work?
You're picking scores, right?
The year.
Yeah.
How many games do you pick? How many games?
During the
have
draft
the
it's
details?
normally 7, but you can set what that is.
All right. So the goal is to pick the 7 best games of 2026.
Yeah. I
And
assume we can't pick
sells
the
most
so we
copies.
can't all pick GTA 6, for instance.
It's based on
GTA.
Metacritic, OpenCritic, like critic scores.
Oh, critic scores. Copy that.
Oh, so in this case, we're not score predicting. It's just the best cumulative scores based on it. So we don't have to guess that, say, Resident Evil 9 might get an 87 from OpenCritic.
No,
it's not
no,
like
you're
that
just
detailed.
like, I think
Oh,
this
it's way
game will
easier.
get a high critic score. Yeah.
That's why I was saying what you were in the stream talking about. I think some of my friends do the one where they're guessing the score range, and I thought it was maybe that level. But no,
That'd be
that's
fun,
both
too.
are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
super
fun,
easy.
too.
It's really fun.
Oh, easy.
It's going to be a really nice way for us to talk about 2026 games because we can talk about our reasoning on why we picked them. So hopefully, listeners, you can learn about some games, maybe see what we're excited about.
Yeah, having critic scores is hard because I think it's easy to predict what's going to sell, but the most popular stuff could also be harshly reviewed. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a different
'Cause it could
perspective to
flop.
take on it.
Like I mean, I don't think GTA 6 is going to flop, but if it did flop, that would be a massive, massive twist. You know.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you
Alrighty.
all for joining us. We'll be back next week, resuming our regularly scheduled broadcast. Have a wonderful and safe weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.